I welcome being attacked. I welcome being misunderstood. I welcome it. You know, often we avoid conflict and confrontation, or rather, it's simpler than that. We avoid telling the truth because there's a fear of being attacked. There's a fear of being misunderstood. There's a fear of standing alone in the void when you say what needs to be said and both the protagonist and the antagonist turn against you, or there's a possibility that both the left and the right may turn against you. Even though you are here immediately for the well-being, for the freedom, the liberation, the salvation of the oppressed, the broken, the beaten, the damned, as well as to bring illumination to those who are predating and causing harm, which is really for the freedom of all. Here for the freedom of all, but depending upon how the all, in the form of people, human beings, have divided itself, how they have divided themselves, they will and they must take whatever angle they must initially take on truth. And when one steps up and tells the truth about who one is, about who we are, about what the nature of being is, there will be people who are upset by it. There will be people from all angles. People will attack. There's no avoiding the attack. People will think whatever they think about you. People may. The very people who you're here to serve may attack you. Not knowing, not seeing. But you can trust this. You can trust your own being. You can trust. You can trust truth. You can trust this merging. You can trust this being. You can trust it. You don't know where it's going to go, what it's going to say, or what it's going to do, but you can trust it because you know that it's whole and complete. Whatever anybody's perception of it may be, you know it to be true. You know it to be good. With a capital G, you know it, which means it has no opposite. The good that is the opposite of bad is not good. So to finally feel everything, to feel good and bad, and to see that that bad isn't really bad, it's the conditioning that's being felt, and to be here as a raw, wild lion, ready to wake up and roar, waking up and roaring now as we speak, is to welcome everything, including attack. Including being misunderstood. And playing the role well. Whatever role we're given to play it well. And this means that the role can be played without anger, without violence, without retaliation, without fear. And therefore it can be played sanely, whether it looks like you're building or destroying. Whether it looks like you're playing Brahma, Vishnu, or Shiva. You're playing the role that you've been assigned to play. Whether anyone else sees it or not, whether anybody else ordains it or not, whether anybody else validates it or confirms it or not, or understands it or not, is irrelevant. It makes no difference to the precise execution of the role, which is not being executed for the sake of anybody's understanding. It makes no difference, finally, whether anybody understands it or not. It's beyond understanding. And this is the heart of true goodness, of true compassion, of true love. To see what must be done and to do it. Whether the left or the right complain or praise or do both, it makes no difference. Praise and blame mean nothing. Reward and punishment mean nothing. Pleasure and pain mean nothing. Everything other than total surrender to truth is suffering. And we have a choice to step out of suffering, to cease suffering, to cease worshiping the false god. We have that choice. And whatever anybody says or thinks, you'll be called everything expected. The world will call you all kinds of names. People will misunderstand you. Right ways, left ways, up ways, down ways, in ways, out ways. Yahwehs, no ways. People will misunderstand you. They'll misunderstand you. It's okay. Not here to be understood. Not here to be right. Not here to be wrong. There's no need to be right, finally. It's not about being right or about being wrong. Not about being good, not about being bad, not about being positive or negative. That's relative perception. Let people take care of that. We're here to be that which has no opposite. To be whole, to be complete. We are the formless, the nameless. Here playing the game of form. Whether good, whether bad, positive or negative. To be aware of the eternal nature of being renders all of that meaningless. God creates, sustains, and destroys, and is itself eternally uncreated. That is what we are. The uncreated. The undying. That which creates, sustains, and destroys everything. And what is untrue, what is false, must be destroyed. By the very physics of reality, what is untrue must come to an end. And what a joy it is when it does. What a joy it is when the untrue, when the false is dethroned. What a joy. Only it's not a joy to those who, being caught in the dualistic mind, wish to keep the untruth perched on a throne. at the expense of living human beings. And there's nothing compassionate about allowing the feelings of ego to supersede the actual flesh and blood of living human beings. Life and well-being is always worth more than feeling and opinion and belief and idea and desire. May all beings wake up and know peace, truth, love, joy, ecstasy, wisdom. May all suffering cease, and may all who commit suffering be awakened immediately. May all who experience suffering refuse to allow suffering to continue any longer.